So for this challenge, I decided that I wanted to draw Percy Jackson and Annabeth Chase because I've been reading the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan lately, and so when I thought of the fan art challenge, I decided that why not draw them because they're adorable and I love them together. So I decided that I wanted to draw them in the super stylized chibi style, which basically you might be able to see from that little reference photo there, where they have big giant heads like chibis in anime, but their bodies are kind of long and skinny, and I just think they look kind of adorable and graceful, so I wanted to attempt to draw Percy and Annabeth in that style because I just think it's really cute. And then I realized later that in the style that I'm drawing, as you can see, the head is absolutely gigantic. So the way I had positioned the head, I couldn't get the pose I wanted because I wanted Annabeth to be leaning on Percy's shoulder. And with the way their heads were so gigantic, it wasn't going to work. So I ended up just scrapping the drawing and starting over because it wasn't going to be the pose I wanted and it didn't look right to me. And so now I'm just starting over again and I'm drawing Percy's head, and this time he is facing away from Annabeth. That way his giant head won't get in the way of hers because their heads are massive. Now I'm drawing Annabeth and her head is going to fit on his shoulder just as I wanted. Their giant heads can be close together. They're floating in the water, so they're sitting on either a boogie board or a surfboard. I never quite decided which one they're sitting on, but I'm pretty sure it looks more like a boogie board than a surfboard because surfboards are way longer. And I draw in the style that I kind of invented that is a mix between Disney and anime if you look closely at the eyes once it's done. I get to the fun part, which is the hair. I love drawing hair, especially all of these chibi characters because their hair is like more gigantic than their bodies, and I think that's really fun. They look like little dolls, pretty much. And then I'm getting out my French curves, which this is actually the first time I'm trying to use these. They're surrounded by water, and I want the water to be in a heart shape around them, so I'm trying to figure out what the best position is to make that happen, because I want to make it look like Percy is creating a wave that turns into a heart surrounding the two of them, and so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. And the curve isn't at quite the right angle that I want it to be, so it actually didn't turn out to be that useful. I think I just wanted to try and use them because I hadn't used these yet, and I've had them for quite a while now. And I decided did not like it because it did not look like a heart inside, so I just pretty much erased it all. Decided to start over because it didn't look like it was a heart surrounding them, it looked like a big mess. So I decided to just do a heart freehand to make sure that the center of it looks like a heart, and I went from there. So I ended up not even needing to use those fancy curve tools. that's all for the drawing. So I finished the sketch and I decided not to show me inking the drawing because that's just me going over the drawing again in ink. So I just did all of that off camera, and now I'm on to coloring the drawing, which I thought would probably be a little bit more interesting to show than the inking process. Here's me attempting to do the water. Right before doing this drawing, I watched a tutorial on how to use these particular markers and color water. So I was trying to follow from memory kind of what that tutorial had told me. It doesn't look as good though as the tutorial, unfortunately. So I tried. It takes a while for it to even look somewhat decent because I was just copying what I saw, and this is my first ever attempt at coloring water with markers. Or really, yeah, I really don't do that much water scenes, I'm realizing. I draw mostly people, and I don't really do the landscape around them all that much. So I'm trying to make it look like cool, reflective water, but it is what it is, I guess. So I'm going to end the voiceover here because this is where my camera was running out of battery. So yeah, I'll be right back when I finish the drawing. And this is the completed drawing. I think Percy and Annabeth turned out really cute. I'm really happy with them. And as for the water, I feel like the water could have been better. But as I said earlier, this was honestly my first attempt at coloring water with my Copic markers. I used 3 different colors and then I used my colorless blender to blend them all together. I think it actually is looking a little better on camera than it actually looked in real life. It's not perfect, I'm not 100% happy with it, but I think it was an okay first attempt for me. But overall, I think it's a pretty cute drawing. I don't know if you can tell, but Percy is making the waves make a little heart around him and Annabeth, because he's just super sweet like that. This is my fan art of Percy and Annabeth. At the time I'm filming this, I'm about to start the House of Hades, so I'm super excited to see what's gonna happen to them next. And yeah, that's why I decided to draw them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!